We have to thank our families, our wives who suffer through the rally weekends. And I think at the end of the day, the glory really comes to one man here, and this is the man beside me. Because as a lot of you know, I've been involved in motorsport for quite a while. But Pascal has only spent 2 to 3 years in it. And I must say, he's achieved quite a lot in that space of time. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to the man himself. And thank you.
Very kind words, Robbie. Very kind words, Robbie, but... You're broken.
They don't know. Right, is that?
Keep it in, keep it out. Keep it out of it.
Perhaps again. But there's probably a lot of people to be thanked, and you have to start at the beginning where people stand up to say speeches and they say, I won't hold you, or it'll be only a minute. You can sit back and relax, lads. This will take a while. The clubs that run these events put in massive effort into doing it, and they do it so well. And all the events we go to, everything is laid on, everything is there. You don't have to ask or put up your hand and say, where's this, where's that? It's there in front of you. You don't have to look at it. The people that run the championship, I'm not going to name them, but they know who they are, and they're ringing you saying, you're here, you're there, what do you want to do next? This is where you need to be. And they tell you what to do. You don't have to push. The marshals, and now I'm not talking about the marshals that have a lovely square lift at the Carlow stages with a bit of loose on it, where they have pole position and full view. I'm talking about the marshals that are taking your time cards. They're 3 miles away from the event. They're there all day. The same people are there every day. They're there wet or fine. They're doing it. And they love doing it. And they don't see nothing. Don't see nothing. I don't understand it. But they don't see nothing. They're there and doing it. The Buxtown Motorsport people. The one thing when you ring back to Seamus or ring back to someone and say, Jesus, this is broke, or Jesus, that's broke. The first thing you hear is no. You ring Foxy, no. You ring Device, no. But followed up by no, there'll be problem. No problem. Cars and shit, no problem. Whatever is wrong, bring it back, get it back, no problem. You talk to Robbie here. I have to take some credit for where we are, but I can't take all the responsibility. Robbie gets us out there on time. He gets us back in one piece. The reason that we're on a score sheet someplace is 90% down to Robbie, because he'll say, Jesus, if I push you a bit harder, he's going to back up a bit. Do you want to finish it or not? You know? And these things, you can win the day but not win the event. That's what it's about. If you don't start out in the morning when you leave the kitchen with support, you're not going to do any business. Now, when Gabriel had the breakfast ready for me and she'd have the suit hanging up, I know we'd be in business when I come home. So there's that. Thanks very much. After that, I don't know who else to include, but there was these 2 fellas, right? And they were going home from a rally, and they were after having probably a bit of a ding-dong all day, and they were pushing hard and all the rest, but they got out of the rally suits, they got the dinner, and they got the trophies, and they got the whole lot of it. One had a M5 BMW, and the other had an AMG Mercedes, and they were, this is a few years ago, now you understand, when they get the tiger was gone. Now they're probably going up in 2 Transit vans. They were steaming up the road anyway, and one lad was trying to get the better of the other, and they were going up the motorway anyway, and they were flat to the boards. And James, there were lad, I think there's also in Anglia, and he was at a red cannon, he waving down, you see. And he waved down one of them, and he went, James, He said, do you want to lift? No. He said, I just want to sub petrol. He said, my car is so powerful. He said, I could tow your car to the next filling station and it wouldn't even bother me. So the man said, he said, that sounds like the job, he said. So they put on the strap anyway, and he put it into the M5 BMW and he hooked him on and went off, and he nice and handy about 50 or 60 miles an hour. And we're going up the motorway anyway. Jeez, your man come up on the outside of the mirror. Flash past him. Jeez, he said, this won't do. He took off after him anyway, he said. Jeez, he said, I'm going to pass this lad here. He said, he's giving me grief all day, I'm going to pass him. So they're going up along the motorway anyway, next to the guard standing on the road waving down. So the boys never even saw the guard, they shot through. And I was on the motor, on the radio, he said, up around Care it was. Rang to the station in Care anyway, and he said, James, he said, put out a roadblock straight away. A roadblock straight away. He said, a lunatic up there. He said, in a BMW, he said, he's doing 170 miles an hour. He said, and to make it worse, he said, they're landing a Mercedes, he said, he's following him, he said. He must be doing 180. And he said, you won't believe this, he said. They're right behind him, he said, in a black Anglia, he said. He's flashing the lights, he said, and he's blown to the fucking road. Enjoy the night, because we're going to enjoy it. And they say, Larry said to me earlier, he said, drink is good, he said, and motorsport is good. But he said, if you could mix the two of them, he said, it'll be great. Thanks, and good night, and I'll hand it back to John.